What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla. If you are new here, if you are a returner, what's up? Welcome back. So today I have a really good video. I am going to be sharing, my breastfeeding journey versus formula feeding journey, and kind of sharing which ones seem to work out best for me, but also the pros and cons of both. If you are a new mom debating whether or not you should go formula route, pumping route, breastfeeding route, I did all three. So I have a lot to share. Stay tuned for this video. Let's get into it. From day one, before I knew I was pregnant and I talked about having a baby, I knew that I wanted to breastfeed because they talk a lot about antibodies and just that connection that you and your child get. And in a way, it's kind of put on you. Like, they expect you to breastfeed, and they say it's because, our breasts create milk and for free. So why would you do formula and so many different things? And so it really is put on you to do breastfeeding. And that's something that I have realized that made me feel like a sense of mom guilt when I started switching it up to formula, because so many people tell you breastfeed, 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 but it doesn't work out for everyone. And I want to share my story and share what items I did use when I started breastfeeding. So when I first started breastfeeding, I was in the hospital. I was trying to get my daughter to latch. Obviously, it's a whole entire process. Your nipples are hurting a lot. In the beginning, it does hurt when they're sucking and getting the breast milk and stuff like that. Your body's cramping and kind of closing, your uterus is closing and stuff. So it's just definitely experience, but it is bearable. And if that's the route that you want to take, that's completely okay, because that was the route that I was taking. And so I was kind of just practicing, trying to get her to latch, kind of teaching her. I was learning too. I never did something like that before. So we were both learning at the same time together. It started to work in a way. And so I was kind of okay, I could get used to this. I'm going to do the breastfeeding route for sure. They had us keeping a log of every time she ate. It was, of course, every 2 hours. And so then after that, when we started getting home from the hospital, I continued to breastfeed. As time went on, I started to struggle with breastfeeding because I felt I was going through postpartum blues. And then also, if you haven't watched my previous video about my postpartum journey, you'll hear about everything else that was happening to me at the same time. So I was battling urinary incontinence, which is the inability to control your pee, just so many different factors. And so since all the pressure was on me to breastfeed, I was okay, maybe I should try something else to take a little bit of the load off. So I started doing my research, and I was okay, people pump. So even if I can't put her on my actual breast, maybe I can pump, and that will be the most, beneficial thing to do. And so I started pumping, and the pump machine that I used was the Medela Pumping Style. Oops, let me flip it. Sorry, y'all. The Medela Pumping Style. The Medela was amazing. It worked so easily. And so I started pumping, and I was doing exclusively pumping mainly. Sometimes I would try to put her on the boob and different things like that. But overall, I was honestly pumping. So I was pumping through the night, and then I would put it in storage baggies. I'll show y'all the storage baggies that I decided to go with. So the storage bags that I went with were the Lancino breast milk bags. Yeah. If you have this type of pump, it actually connects directly to the pump, but I didn't. So I had the Medela. So I pumped with this, and then I would just dump it in the ounces that I needed into each bag. And if people want me to kind of do a separate video or something like that about breastfeeding and getting it into bags, or even pumping, exclusively pumping and getting into bags, I didn't do it for too long, but I do know enough because obviously I had to do it to sustain my baby. So I can definitely share that with you all. Just comment down below if that's a video that you want to see. But side note, okay, so back to the story. After I started exclusively pumping, it was amazing in a way. It was so much easier because it was less painful. Not only that, I was able to do it, I was able to produce what I wanted. It was also helping me produce even more, honestly, because of the fact that I was able to do both my boobs at once. It wasn't just one boob at a time. It was just really, it was nice. It was working out. But then there were some factors that started to come into play. So more stuff started happening through my postpartum journey. Like I said, you could tune into the previous video, but that made me start being okay, I don't even know if the pumping is going to work out, because although pumping was nice, it was a little less harder for me, it still was pretty hard because you're up all through the night. You're up every 2 hours in general, you know what I mean, to feed your baby in the first couple weeks. But then on top of that, you're up through the night, lonely, by yourself. And so you're really, really not getting no rest, because on the times that my daughter, I have a daughter, so the time that she was sleeping, I had to be up pumping for like the next couple of feeds. And so it started to get a little bit like still a hiccup, still having those postpartum blues, still feeling like maybe this is just not the way for me. But I had so much mom guilt. I remember I battled it for like a week, and I was crying every single day of the week, because I was just like, but I want her to have the antibodies, and they talk so much about this, and they say this, and they say that. And it was just really hard to go through already your own hormones coming down and stuff, and then trying to get that, like, feeling that mom guilt. But I want to say to all the new moms, if you switch to formula, like, that is completely okay. My baby is 3 months. She's never been sick yet. She eats very well. She's a big girl. She's healthy. Every time we go to the doctor, they're like, she's getting good food. Like, she's not super fussy. She's not gassy. Like, it just worked out so well. And so I do want to share, because I felt that 100%, that mom guilt, that it is okay if you switch to formula. I had to keep reminding myself, like, my mom, she did not breastfeed any of her kids, and I have 4 other siblings. There's 5 of us, and we were all on formula, and we are completely healthy and happy and love our mama, okay? So don't even think that it loses that connection and stuff, because even with the formula feeding, they're right there. You know what I mean? You're holding your baby, you're still giving her the bottle and formula feeding, and she's looking into your eyes, and you're still getting that connection. So I want other moms to know that as well, that is completely okay. But back to the story. So after I was like, you know what? So much is going on. I just need to go straight into just formula. I need more support, even from like my man. He was always wanting to help, and he was kind of like, I want to be able to help, and if you're doing it this way, I can't help, I can't do anything. And so it just really worked out for us and our situation that we are in. And so we switched to completely giving her formula. When we made the switch, I was not completely still like in the know of formula and everything and how to do it and so many different things. And so we started off with the Enfamil NeuroPro, the ready to use ones. And the reason why is because I was like, I'm scared of the powder. Like, how do you sterilize it? How do you get it right? Like, maybe we should just stick with the ready to use, and it's all good to go. You just pop it open. But then we realized, one, this specific one was making her super, super gassy and super fussy, and she was really just struggling to digest this one. And so we were like, maybe we should find something that's a little bit more gentle. But I did love the Enfamil NeuroPro, like doing my research on it. I know it's a really popular brand. And so I was kind of like, I felt secure and safe doing this one. But I just wanted to find something that was a little bit more gentle on her. And then on top of that too, the ready to use ones, they're nice because they're ready to use, but they do have cons as well. And so once I started doing my research and different things like that, I found out that first off, these are not the best if you have to take something to go, because once it is cracked open, you do have to refrigerate it. So it has to stay refrigerated. And so obviously it's like, if you're on the go for a long time, and let's say you're taking a trip and traveling or just anything, it really does restrict you. And then on top of that too, they're really much more pricey. You get way less for your buck. And as you know, formula is already super pricey. So after we left this one alone, we discussed it with our doctor, because we are going to make a switch to another formula. And of course, before you switch formula, you do want to discuss it with your doctor just to see like what could possibly happen and stuff. Typically all they say is like, the gassiness, the fussiness, their stool may change and stuff like that. So we just want to inform our doctor of the new formula we are going to, but we decided to do Enfamil NeuroPro Gentle Ease. So it is basically literally the same thing, but it's just the gentle version. And once we switched to this one, she was doing amazing. The gassiness, the waking up in the middle of the night because of like the digestive pains, just everything like was gone. And so this was the best decision that we made. And it's been amazing so far. We get more for our buck, which is amazing. I did my research and I learned how to do the powder and different things like that, and it really is easy. So if you're a new mom stressing about that like I was, like, how would you even do it? What are the rules? How do you, like, I don't know, but It is very, very easy. And honestly, formula just really ended up working out well for us. I ended up having to get surgery and so many different things. And so I realized, like, if I would have got her hooked onto breastfeeding, where, you know, there's some babies who get hooked onto breastfeeding where they don't even know how to take a bottle, then it would have been extremely hard during that process where I had to get surgery and they were trying to, you know, prescribe me medicine, and I'm taking Tylenol back to back, like just everything. So it just really worked out for us. And that's why I want to emphasize to all the moms, if it works out for you, go for it. The last thing I do want to share too, if you decide to go with formula, is obviously the water that you want to use. And so I can do a whole entire separate video on that. I keep saying that, but like, just comment down below if y'all want it, because I have all these ideas in my head. Because I know I was a new mom, you know, I'm still a new mom, only 3 moms. So I'm still learning every day, but I do want to share the information that I have learned along the way in my process. But the water that we like to use is the Parents' Choice distilled water. This one has been amazing. We started off with other waters. We were scared of just all waters. We talked to so many different doctors, so many different people. We were just like, what do we do? And we made this a huge thing. But honestly, we absolutely love this. This is another thing where when we started using this water, it decreased her fussiness and stuff. So I don't know if it was the water that was partially making her even more gassy and fussy and stuff, because it all plays a part. And so once we switched to this water was amazing just as much as the formula. And now it's just an easy breezy thing to do. So for all the new moms, whatever route you take, just feed your baby. Okay? It does not matter which route. But thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of it. And stay tuned for more videos, because I feel like I'm coming with the heat. So stay tuned for more videos. Thank you. Bye.